Hi and welcome to another Python programming series. In this series, we are going to work on a Python project that is a voice assistant. We are going to make a voice assistant that can tell us the current date and time, greet us, search for information about any person on Wikipedia, answer a few general questions about itself, open applications and websites, search for anything on Google and YouTube, change the wallpaper of our computer, play music, empty our recycle bin, make notes, tell a joke, open location on Google Maps, email to someone, tell us the weather of any city, tell us the latest news, send a message, calculate sums, and answer probably any question you ask. And it can also order a pizza. Yes, a real pizza delivered to your house. Now the link for the code of this project is in the description of the video. You can just steal the code and have fun adding your own features. Now if you want the code with tips, comments and explanation of how everything works that could help you to understand the code better, you can be a patron at patreon.com/DionCardoza. The link is in the description. So are you excited? Let's get started. So the first thing I want you to do is to open up your browser and head over to jetbrains.com/PyCharm. Now here we will be downloading an IDE that stands for Integrated Development Environment, and that means a code editor that has some additional features that makes it easy to write code. You can continue with the VS Code if you want. For programs which are more than 500 lines, I prefer to use PyCharm because it is easier and faster. So on this page, click on Downloads. On the download page, you can see two versions of PyCharm. One is the Professional Edition, which has additional features and you have to pay for that. The other is the free Community Edition, and that is what we are going to be using in this tutorial. So go ahead and download this. So here is the main page of PyCharm you are going to see every time you open it. Click on Create a New Project. This is the location of our project. Let's call this project Voice Assistant. Now before clicking Create, expand this item here. Make sure that the base interpreter is set to Python 3. Now here, create a new file. So click here. Now click on New and select Python file. Let's call this file Voice Assistant. Now here you can see that PyCharm automatically adds the .py extension. Now the first thing we will do is ignore all the warnings that we get during the execution of this program. Warning messages are typically issued in situations where it is useful to alert the user of some condition in a program. So before we write our main program, we need to filter warnings. And to do this, we need to import the warning module. The warnings module is the built-in module in Python. So on the top, type import warnings. So in the next line, type warnings.filter warnings. And inside the parentheses, add quotations and type ignore. The warnings filter controls whether warnings are ignored or displayed. Now we will set our engine to Python text-to-speech 3. This module is used for the conversion of text to speech in our program. It also works offline. Now in this program, I will be using both Python text-to-speech 3 and Google text-to-speech module. You can use any one of them. So now we need to install the Python text-to-speech module. And to do this, open up your terminal window by clicking here and type pip install Python text-to-speech x3. Make sure you spell everything properly. Now press enter. Now if you find any issues while installing this package, let me know in the comment section. Now let's import this module. So on the top, type import pyttsx3, all in lowercase. Now here on the PyPI page, you can see this documentation. Go through it if you want to do any changes to this program. Back to our program, let's initialize our engine. So to do this, let's define a variable called engine and set it to pyttsx3.init and parentheses. Now here on the PyPI page, you can see that we have this voice property. Let's copy this. So this code here is to get and set the voice property of our assistant. Now here you can change the voice ID to 0 for a male voice. In this tutorial, we will be using a female voice. So in the next line, let's create a function. Let's call this function talk. And let's pass a parameter called audio to it. Inside this function, type engine.say and inside the parenthesis audio. And in the next line, engine.run and wait and add a parenthesis. So here A and W are in uppercase. So whenever we call this talk function and pass a string, it will speak out that string. Now let us test this. So in the next line, call this function and type this is a test. Now let's run our program.
This is a test.
So our program says this is a test. Now we will start creating functions that will make our code look cleaner and execute certain commands. First, we need a function that can take in audio and recognize the speech, then return that speech as a string. Let's call this function rec_audio. So before we do this, we need to import the speech recognition module. Since we are building an application of voice assistant, one of the most important things in this is that our assistant recognizes our voice. So in the terminal window, type pip install speech recognition. Here S and R are in uppercase. Make sure you spell everything properly. Now press enter. Now on the top, type import speech_recognition as SR. We are doing this because every time when we use this module, instead of typing the name of the entire module, we can just type SR. So in the next line, let's create a function called rec_audio. Now let's initialize the recognizer. So in the next line, let's define a variable called recog and set it to sr.recognizer. Now we need to get the input. So we use our microphone as a source. So in the next line, type sr.microphone as source, print listening. So this will print listening whenever it is taking voice commands from the user. In the next line, type audio equals recog.listen inside the parenthesis source. Now we will use Google speech recognition to recognize our speech. So to do this, let's define an empty string called data. I'm here type try and inside the try block type data equals recog.recognize_Google and inside the parenthesis audio. Now we will print what the user said on the terminal. So print you said plus data. Now we have to write two except blocks. One for when the recognizer doesn't understand the speech and the other for when Google sends a request error. So in the next line, accept sr.unknown value error. Print assistant could not understand the audio. Now let's write our second accept block. So accept sr.request error as ex. Print request error from Google speech recognition plus ex. Now let's return the data. So return data. Now let's test this function. So let's call this function rec_audio and run our program. Now we can see listening is printed on the terminal. So say hello computer. You can see hello computer is printed on the terminal. Perfect. We now have a function to record the audio. Let's create a function for the program to respond to the user audibly and call it response. The function will take in a string and convert it to audio. I will also have a function to print the text on the screen for testing purposes. So you need to import three modules. First, let's install the GTTS module. GTTS stands for Google Text to Speech. It is a Python library and CLI tool to interface with Google Translate's Text to Speech API. So to install this module in the terminal window, type pip install GTTS. So here TTS are in uppercase. So now we need to install our second module called PlaySound. It is a pure Python cross-platform single function module with no dependencies for playing sounds. So to install this module in the terminal window, type pip install PlaySound. Make sure to spell everything properly. So our last module is the OS module. This module provides a portable way of using operating system dependent functionality. So on the top, type from GTTS all in lowercase, import GTTS. Here TTS are in uppercase. In the next line, type import playsound, and finally import OS. Now let's write a function to get the voice assistant's response. So def response, and inside the parenthesis pass a parameter called text. In the next line, let's simply print text. Now let's convert text to speech. So to do that, let's define a variable called TTS and set it to GTTS, and inside the parenthesis text equals text, comma, lang equals, inside the quotations en. Now we need to save the converted audio file, and to do this, let's define a variable called audio and set it to audio.mp3. In the next line, tts.saveAudio. Now we need to play that audio. So playSound.playSound audio. Finally, we will delete that file. So os.remove audio. We are doing this because when we run this program later, this audio file will be created repeatedly. So we want this audio file to be deleted once it is played. Next, we will create a function to take in some text and check if the wake word was given in that text. For this program, I created a wake word assistant. Similar to Google's Assistant's wake word, OK Google, and Amazon's Alexa. If the wake word was detected from the text, then the function will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So now let's create a function to check for the wake word. So def call, and here let's pass a parameter called text. In the next line, let's define a variable to store the wake word. Let's call this action underscore call. So action underscore call equals assistant. So we are naming it assistant. You can give it any name. In the next line, type text equals text.lower. Here we are converting the text to lowercase. Next, let's write an if statement to check if the user's command or text contains the wake word. So if action underscore call in text return true. Now we need to return false if the wake word is not present. So return false. Now I will create a function to return today's date as a string. For example, it will return today is Tuesday, November the 10th. If today was indeed Tuesday, November the 10th. Let's call this function today underscore date. So now we need to import two modules. So the first module is called the datetime module. It is a module that is used to show date and time. This module is built into Python, so we don't need to install it. And the second module we need to import is the calendar module. This module allows us to output calendars and provides additional useful functions related to the calendar. This module is also built into Python, so we don't need to install it. On the top, type import datetime, and in the next line, import calendar. Now let's create the today underscore date function. So def today underscore date. In the next line, let's define a variable and set it to datetime.now. This will give you the year, month, date, and hours, minutes, and seconds. Now let's create another variable called date underscore now and set it to datetime.today. This will give you the present date and time. Now let's create a variable called week underscore now and set it to calendar.day underscore name. Now add square brackets, and inside the square brackets type date underscore now dot weekday followed by parenthesis. This will give us the day of the week. Now let's define another variable called month underscore now and set it to now.month. This will return the month. In the next line, day underscore now equals now.day. This will give us the current date. In the next line, let's define a list of months. So month equals square brackets, and inside the square brackets type all the months. Now let's define another list called ordinals. So ordinals equals square brackets, and inside the square brackets type all the dates with their ordinals. Now let's return. So return F, and inside the quotations today is. Now add flower brackets and type week underscore now. Add a comma. Again add flower brackets and type month. Now add square brackets, and inside the square brackets type month underscore now minus 1. Now type the. Again add flower brackets, and now add square brackets. Now type day underscore now minus 1. We are doing this because in Python the month starts from 0 and not from 1. Next, we will create a function that takes in text and returns a random greeting response as text to the user. If the user set a greeting input like hi, for example, the function will return some random greeting like hello. This function will be called say underscore hello. For this, we need a module called random, which we have seen before. So on the top, import random. Now def say underscore hello. In the next line, let's define a list to store the greeting input. So assuming these will be the input, greet equals inside the square brackets hi, hey, hola, greetings, what's up, hello, howdy, what's good, hey there. Now let's create a list of greetings for the user. So let's create a variable and call it response. So response equals, and now copy this list and paste it here. Now let's write a for loop. So for word in text dot split, we use the split method to convert a string to a list of individual words. In the next line, let's write an if statement. So if word dot lower in greet, return random dot choice response plus add quotations dot. If no greeting was detected, return an empty string. So return quotations. Now we will create a function to get a person's first and last name from the text after detecting the keyword command who is. Once we detect the word who followed by the word is, then we will return the next two words as a single string. The next two words should be the person's first name followed by the person's last name. For example, if the user says who is Elon Musk, then the function will take in that text and simply return Elon Musk. We will use this function later on to get a two-sentence summary about the person from Wikipedia. This function will be called wiki underscore person. So for this, we need a module called Wikipedia. This module allows us to search for someone on Wikipedia. So to install this module, in the terminal window, type pip install Wikipedia. On the top, import Wikipedia. Now let's create a function. So def wiki underscore person and pass a parameter text. In the next line, list underscore wiki equals text dot split. Now let's write a for loop for I in range 0, len list underscore wiki. If I plus 3 is less than or equal to len of list underscore wiki minus 1 and list underscore wiki of I dot lower equals who and list underscore wiki of I plus 1 dot lower equals is, return list underscore wiki of I plus 2 plus space plus list underscore wiki of I plus 3. So this code here is to just check for the existence of the word who followed by the word is and to return the first and the last name. All of the most popular voice assistants like Google Assistant, Amazon's Alexa, and Apple's Siri continuously listen to your conversation and waits to execute commands only after hearing the wake word like OK Google, Alexa, or Hey Siri. This means we will need to have a program consistently listening for the wake word. So we will need a continuous loop that runs forever recording the audio. Once the wake word is said, then we will check to see if the user set a greeting, date, time, or who is, and have the computer respond accordingly by audio. So let's write a while loop. So while true, Now let's write a try block. So try, and here let's record the audio. So text equals rec underscore audio. In the next line, let's define an empty variable called speak. So speak equals quotations, and inside the quotations add a space. Now let's check for the wake word. So if call, and inside the parenthesis text. Now we will check if the user set a greeting. So speak equals speak plus say underscore hello and pass text as the argument. So now we will write an if statement to check if the user said date, day or month. So if date in text or day in text or month in text, get underscore today equals today underscore date followed by parenthesis. In the next line, let's tell the user the date. So speak equals speak plus add quotations, and in between the quotations add a space plus get underscore today. Now let's write an elif statement to check to see if the user set time. So elif time in text now equals datetime dot now. Now let's define a variable called meridium and set it to an empty string. In the next line, we will write an if statement inside this elif statement to check if the r is greater than or equal to 12. So if now.r greater than or equal to 12, meridium equals pm, r equals now.r minus 12, else meridium equals am, r equals now.r. Now let's convert the minutes to string. So if now.minute is less than 10, minute equals 0 plus string of now.minute, else minute equals string of now.minute. In the next line, speak equals speak plus empty string plus inside the quotations it is followed by a space plus string of r plus inside the quotations a colon plus minute plus empty string plus meridium plus inside the quotations dot. Now we will check to see if the user said Wikipedia. So elif Wikipedia in text or Wikipedia in text. Now let's write an if statement to check if the user said who is. So if who is in text, person equals wiki underscore person inside the parenthesis text. Wiki equals Wikipedia dot summary person comma sentences equals 2. Speak equals speak plus an empty string plus wiki. You can also change the number of sentences by changing the number here. And finally, let's ask our assistant to respond. So response inside the parenthesis speak. Now write an accept block. So accept talk I don't know that. Now let's test our program. So let's tell the assistant hello. Today. So it tells us a random greeting. Now let's ask the assistant the time. So assistant, what is the time?
It is 2:50 p.m.
It tells us the current time. Now let's ask our assistant to search for someone on Wikipedia. Let's say Jeff Bezos. Assistant, search on Wikipedia for who is Jeff Bezos.
Jeffrey Preston Bezos, Megaginson, born January 12, 1964, is an American internet entrepreneur, industrialist, media proprietor, and investor. He is best known as the founder, CEO, and president of the multinational technology company Amazon.
So it gives us a 2-line summary about him. Okay, now that our program is working completely fine, let's add more functionality to it. Let's make it able to answer a few general questions about itself. For example, if we ask our assistant what is your name, it should reply, my name is assistant. So here in this while loop, let's add a few more elif statements. So if someone asks, who are you? Our assistant should be able to tell something about itself. So elif, who are you in text, or define yourself in text, speak equals speak plus. Now we will add triple quotes, and inside the triple quotes type, hello, I am an assistant, your assistant. I am here to make your life easier. You can command me to perform various tasks such as solving mathematical questions and opening applications, etc. Now let's write another elif statement. Now if a user asks our assistant what is its name, it should tell my name is assistant. So elif, your name in text, speak equals speak plus my name is assistant. Now let's check to see if the user said who am I. In this case, let's reply the user saying you must probably be a human. So elif, who am I in text, speak equals speak plus you must probably be a human. Now if the user asks why do you exist, let's tell the user it is a secret. So elif, why do you exist in text, or why did you come in text, speak equals speak plus it is a secret. Now if a user asks the assistant, how are you? It should reply, I am fine. How are you? And if the user tells, I am fine too, it will reply saying something like, it's good to know that you're fine. So, elif, how are you in text, speak equals speak plus, I am fine, thank you. In the next line, speak equals speak plus. Now inside the quotations, add a backslash n. This means that we have to move to the next line. So backslash n, how are you? Now let's check to see if the user said fine or good. Elif, fine in text or good in text, speak equals speak plus. It's good to know that you're fine. Now let's test our program by asking it questions. Let's ask, assistant, who are you?
Hello, I am an assistant, your assistant. I am here to make your life easier. You can command me to perform various tasks such as solving mathematical questions or opening applications, etc.
Now let's ask, assistant, what is your name?
My name is Assistant.
Now let's ask, assistant, who am I?
You must probably be a human.
Now let's ask the assistant, why do you exist?
It is a secret.
And finally, let's ask the assistant, how are you?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Now let's write a program that can open various applications that are installed into the user's computer. For example, if we ask our assistant to open Google Chrome or any website like Google, it should open that application or the website. So let's start by importing the web browser module. This module is built into Python and we don't need to install it. This module lets us perform a web search. So now let's add a few more elif statements. First, let's check to see if the user said open. So elif open in text.lower. Now let's check if the user said Chrome. So if Chrome in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening Google Chrome. In the next line type os.start file and inside the parentheses r and quotations. Here you should enter the location of your application. So to get the location of any application, right click on it and now click on the properties and copy the target location. Now here we are adding an R before the string. If we don't do that, we get an error because Python does not allow us to use a string with a slash. So prefix an R This converts the string to a raw string. Now let's check if the user said word. Elif word in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening Microsoft Word os.start file or and here enter the location of Microsoft Word on a computer. Now let's see if the user said Excel. So elif Excel in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening Microsoft Excel os.start file and inside the parentheses are and here at the location of Excel on your computer. Now let's check if the user said VS Code. So elif VS Code in text.lower speak equals opening VS Code os.start file or now here enter the location of VS Code on a computer. You can repeat the same process for multiple applications. Now let's check to see if the user said YouTube. So elif YouTube in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening YouTube. In the next line type web browser.open inside the parentheses add quotations and type https://youtube.com. Now let's check to see if the user said Google. So elif Google in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening Google. In the next line web browser.open https://google.com. And finally, let's check if the user said Stack Overflow. So elif Stack Overflow in text.lower speak equals speak plus opening Stack Overflow web browser.open https://stackoverflow.com. You can repeat the same if you want to open other website. Now if an application or website is not found, let's tell the user application not available. So else speak equals speak plus application not available. So now let's test our program. Assistant open Chrome.
Opening Google Chrome.
So we see Chrome is opened. Assistant open Word.
Opening Microsoft Word.
So we can see that Microsoft Word is open. Now let's search for a website. Let's say Assistant open Stack Overflow.
Opening Stack Overflow.
So we see Stack Overflow is opened. Let's make this program a bit more interesting. Now that we can open Google and YouTube by giving commands to our assistant, let's ask to search for something on Google or YouTube. For example, if we ask our assistant search Amazon, then our program will find for the word search, and then if search is present in the text, then it will take the very next words as the query. So elif YouTube in text.lower. Now let's define a variable to check for the keyword YouTube. So let's define a variable called ind and let's set it to text.lower.split.index of YouTube. Now let's get all the words after the keyword YouTube and store it in a variable called search. So search equals text.split, add square brackets, and inside the square brackets ind plus 1 colon. In the next line web browser.open and inside the parentheses add a string and type http://www.youtube.com/results search underscore query equals. Now add a plus. Now inside the quotations add a plus dot join search. Speak equals speak plus opening string of search on YouTube. Now let's check to see if the user said search. So elif search in text.lower. Now let's check for the keyword search. ind equals text.lower.split.index of search. Now let's get all the words after the keyword search and store it in a variable called search. So search equals text.split. Inside the square brackets ind plus 1 colon. In the next line, web browser dot open, and inside the quotations, https colon slash slash www.google.com slash search question mark q equals. Now add a plus sign. Now inside the quotations, add a plus, dot join search. Speak equals speak plus searching string of search on Google. Now let's check to see if the user said Google. So elif Google in text dot lower. Now let's check for the keyword Google. ind equals text dot lower dot split dot index of Google. Now let's get all the words after the keyword Google and store it in a variable called search. So search equals text dot split square brackets ind plus 1 semicolon web browser dot open https colon slash slash www.google.com slash search question mark q equals. Now add a plus sign and inside the quotation add a plus sign dot join of search. Speak equals speak plus searching string of search on Google. Now let's run our program. Assistant search for Google developers.
Searching Google developers on Google.
Now let's search something on YouTube. So assistant YouTube Google developers.
Opening Google developers on YouTube.
So as you can see, Google developers is opened on YouTube. Now that we have seen how to write programs to work with our browser, let's write programs to work with our operating system. Here we will write programs to change the wallpaper of our computer, play music from the music directory, and also write a program that will empty our recycle bin. So here we need to import two modules. The first module is called ctypes. It is a foreign function library for Python. It provides C compatible data types and allows calling functions in DLLs or shared libraries. This comes built into Python, so we don't need to install it. The other module we are going to use is the WinShell module. The WinShell module is a light wrapper around the Windows shell functionality. So on the top, import ctypes. In the next line, import WinShell. Now let's write an elif statement to change the wallpaper of our computer. So elif change background in text or change wallpaper in text. Now we need a directory with a few images. Now let's define a variable called img. img equals r, and inside the quotations enter the location of your directory. Now let's make a list of images. So list underscore image equals os.listdir, and inside the parenthesis img. So we use the listdir method to list items inside a directory. Now let's randomly choose an image. img choice equals random.choice, and inside the parenthesis list underscore img. In the next line, random img equals os.path.join, and inside the parenthesis img img choice. Here we use the path.join method to join the location of our directory to the image. In the next line, type ctypes.win dll.user32 system parameters info w, and inside the parenthesis 20, 0, random img, 0. This line here is used to change the wallpaper. In the next line, speak equals speak plus background changed successfully. In the next line, let's check if the user said play song. So elif play music in text or play song in text doc. Here you go with music. Music underscore dir equals r. And inside the quotations, add the location of your directory. In the next line, let's define a variable called songs. So songs equals os.listdir, and inside the parenthesis, music underscore dir. In the next line, let's define a variable d. D equals random.choice and inside the parenthesis songs. Now let's define a variable called random. So random equals os.path.join and inside the parenthesis music underscore dir, comma D. So this will choose random songs from the directory. In the next line, let's play the songs. So play sound dot play sound and inside the parenthesis random. Now let's check to see if the user said empty recycle bin. Lf empty recycle bin in text windshell dot recycle underscore bin dot empty and inside the parenthesis confirm equals true. Show underscore progress equals false, comma sound equals true. We use the above command to empty our recycle bin. Now if you don't want a confirmation message, you can set confirm to false. In the next line, speak plus recycle bin emptied. Now let's test our program. Assistant, change wallpaper.
Background changed successfully.
So our wallpaper is changed. Assistant, play music.
Here you go with music.
So it is playing a song. Now let's ask our assistant to empty our recycle bin. So assistant, empty recycle bin.
Recycle bin emptied.
So you can see our recycle bin is emptied. Okay, let's ask our assistant to tell some jokes and also take some quick notes. For this, we will write two programs. The first program will collect Python jokes and tell it to us. And the second one will take notes and store it in our directory. For this, we need two modules. The first one is a subprocess module. This module is used for getting system subprocess details, which are used in various commands. This module comes built into Python. And the second module we are going to use is the PyJokes module. PyJokes is used for collecting Python jokes over the internet. To install this module, type pip install pyjokes. So on the top, import subprocess. In the next line, import pyjokes. Now let's write a function to take notes and save it. So def note and inside the parenthesis, pass text as the argument. In the next line, let's define a variable called date. Date equals datetime.datetime.now. So now let's create a file. File underscore name equals string of date dot replace. And inside the parenthesis add quotations. Now inside the quotations add a semicolon. Now add a comma. Add quotations and add a hyphen. Now add plus. Again add quotations. And inside the quotations add a hyphen and type note.txt. So here we are using the replace method to replace a colon with a hyphen. Now let's open our file. So with open and inside the parenthesis file underscore name, comma, and inside the quotations type w as f. Now let's write our text into the file. So f.write and inside the parenthesis text. Let's open this with Notepad. So subprocess dot p open and inside the parenthesis add square bracket and inside the square brackets add quotations. Inside the quotations type notepad.exe, comma, file underscore name. Here let's write another elif statement. So elif note in text or remember this in text. Talk, what would you like me to write down? In the next line, note underscore text equals rec underscore audio. In the next line, type note and inside the parenthesis, note underscore text. In the next line, speak equals speak plus. I have made a note of that. In the next line, let's check if the user said joke. So, elif joke in text or jokes in text, speak equals speak plus pyjokes dot get underscore joke. Now let's test our program. So assistant, make a note.
What would you like me to write down?
Hello, this is the test.
I have made a note of that.
So we can see that our assistant has made a note of that. Now let's ask our assistant for a joke. So assistant, tell me a joke.
How do you know whether a person is a Vim user? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
And there you go. It tells us a joke. Now let's make our program a little more advanced. When we ask our voice assistant where is Silicon Valley, it should open the location of Silicon Valley in Google Maps. So elif, where is in text. In the next line, let's define a variable called ind. Ind equals text.lower.split index of is. Here we are checking for the keyword is. In the next line, let's define a variable called location. Location equals text.split. Now add square brackets and inside the square brackets type ind plus 1 colon. In the next line, let's define a variable called URL to store the URL of Google Maps. So URL equals https://www.google.com/maps/place/. Now add a plus sign. Now add quotations. .join location. In the next line, speak equals speak plus. This is where add a space plus string of location plus inside the quotations add a space is. In the next line, webbrowser.open URL. So let's test this program. So assistant, where is Silicon Valley?
This is where Silicon Valley is.
And there you go. It opens as the location of Silicon Valley. Now let's make our program much more advanced. Let's add a feature of sending emails to our assistant. Here we will be using the SMTP lib module, which can be used to send emails to any internet machine. The SMTP lib module defines an SMTP client session object that can be used to send mail to any internet machine with an SMTP or eSMTP listener daemon. So on the top, let's start by importing the SMTP lib module. So import SMTP lib. Make sure you spell this correctly. Now here, let's write a function to send emails. So def send underscore email. And inside the parentheses, let's pass two parameters, 2, content. Next, let's define a variable called server. Server equals smtplib.smtp. Here, smtp must be in uppercase. Now add parentheses. Inside the parentheses add quotations. And inside this quotations type smtp.gmail.com, 587. In the next line type server.ehlo followed by parentheses. In the next line type server.starttls followed by parentheses. Now open up your browser and search for less secure apps. Here click on this link. Now on these settings, back to our program type server.login. Here add quotations. Inside the quotations enter your email ID, again add quotations. Here enter your password. In the next line type server.sendemail and inside the parentheses add quotations and type your email address again. Add a comma. 2, again add a comma and type content. In the next line server.close followed by parentheses. Now we have to write two elif statements. In the first elif statement, we will be sending emails to a particular person. So elif email to computer in text or Gmail to computer in text. So here I am calling this person computer. In the next line, let's write a try block. So try. Talk, what should I say? Content equals rec underscore audio. Now let's define a variable 2. 2 equals quotations. Here enter the receiver's email address. In the next line send underscore email and inside the parentheses 2, content. In the next line, speak equals speak plus email has been sent. Now let's write our except block. So accept exception as E. Print E. Talk, I am not able to send this email. In the second elif statement, we have to tell the assistant who the receiver is. So elif, mail in text or email in text or Gmail in text. Now let's write our try block. Try. Talk. What should I say? Now let's define a variable called content. Content equals rec underscore audio followed by parenthesis. In the next line again, talk. Whom should I send? In the next line, let's define a variable to get the receiver's email address. To equals input enter to address. In the next line, send underscore email and inside the parenthesis to comma content. In the next line, type speak equals speak plus email has been sent. Now let's write our accept block. Accept exception as E. Now print E. In the next line, speak equals speak plus I'm not able to send this mail. Here you can also take input through the microphone. But just to be more clear, I preferred using input for receiver's email address. Now let's test this. Assistant, email to computer.
What should I say?
Hello world.
Email has been sent.
So you can see the email has been sent. So let's verify this. Go to gmail.com and we can see that email has been sent successfully. Now let's say assistant email.
What should I say?
Hello world.
Whom should I send?
Email has been sent.
So let's verify this. And there you go. Awesome. We wrote a program to send emails successfully. Now we will begin using APIs in our program. The first API we are going to use is called the Open Weather Map API. This API can be used to know temperature, humidity, and weather description of any city in the world. For this, we will need two modules. The first module is called requests. Requests are used for making get and post requests. To install this module, type pip install request in your terminal window. The second module we will be using is called the JSON module. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is a lightweight data interchange format inspired by JavaScript object literal syntax. So import these two modules here. Import requests and import JSON. So the first thing I want you to do is to head over to https://openweathermap.org and here click on API. Now click on subscribe and then fill the information. Now when you click on create an account, it will ask you where will you use this API. So just fill this. So here click on API keys. So you can see we already have our API key. So this is the key we will be using to communicate with Open Weather Map API. So go ahead and copy this. Back to our program, write an elif statement. So elif weather in text. Now let's define a variable to store our key. So key equals. Enter your Open Weather Map key here. Now go to this page and click on Get Started. Now click on API documentation and then current weather for any geolocation. So here in API call, copy the first call. Back to our program, let's define a variable to store the URL. So weather underscore URL equals. And now inside the quotations, paste the API call. Now just to make it clear and understandable, delete everything that is after the question mark. Now at the beginning of the API call, add http://. So now we need to get the city from our text. So let's first convert our string to a list. So ind equals text.split.index and inside the parentheses add quotations and in between the quotations type in. Now we only need the city name. So we want everything after the word in. For example, assistant, what is the weather in New York? So we only want New York. So location equals text.split, and inside the square brackets ind plus 1 colon. Now we get New York in the form of a list. So to convert a string, we need to use the join method. So location equals add quotations dot join, and inside the parenthesis location. Now let's complete the URL. So URL equals weather underscore URL plus inside the quotations app ID equals. Now again add a plus. Now type E. Again add a plus. Add quotations. Ampersand. Q equals. Add a plus and type location. In the next line type js equals request dot get inside the parenthesis URL dot JSON followed by parenthesis. Now let's write an if statement. So if js inside the square bracket add quotations and type cod. Now add an exclamation mark and add an equal to, which means not equal to. Add quotations and type 404. Now go back to the documentation. Scroll down to weather parameters in API response. Here you can see the parameters that we can use. In this case, we want to get the temperature. So here in main, we see the parameter is main.temp. So let's define a variable called weather in our program. So weather equals js, and inside the square brackets add quotations and type main. Now don't worry about the code we are writing here. You don't need to know everything. Just try to understand what the code does. So we want main.temp. So in the next line, temperature equals weather, and inside the square brackets add quotations and type temp. Now we have the temperature. Now if you go back here and see, the default temperature is in Kelvin. So we need to convert it into Celsius. The easiest way is to subtract it by 273.15. So temperature equals temperature minus 273.15. Now back here we need the humidity. The parameter is main.humidity. So humidity equals weather at square brackets, I'm at quotations, and in between the quotations type humidity. Now we need the weather description like cloudy, windy, etc. So here in weather you can see the parameter is weather.description. Back to our program, let's define a variable called disk. So disk equals js at square brackets, and inside the square brackets are quotations. Now in between the quotations type weather. Now again add square brackets and type 0. Again add square brackets. Now add quotations and type description. So now let's define a variable called weather underscore response. Weather underscore response equals add quotations. The temperature in Celsius is. Now add a plus sign. String of temperature. Again add a plus sign. Now add quotations and type the humidity is. Add a plus sign and type string of humidity. Now add a plus sign. Now add quotations and type and the weather description is. Again add a plus sign and type string of disk. In the next line, speak equals speak plus weather underscore response. Now let's write an else statement. So else speak equals speak plus city not found. Now let's test our program. Assistant, what is the weather in London?
The temperature in Celsius is 12.6700000000000016. The humidity is 71 and the weather description is scattered clouds.
And there you go. Now that we have used Weather API in our program, we will use the News API. This API can be used to get the latest news. You can listen to the news headlines of 50 countries separated into 7 categories just by supplying the ID of that country. So head over to https://newsapi.org. On this page, click on Get API. Now fill out this registration form. So here you have your API key. Copy it. Now here click on Get Started. Now here click on Python. Copy this code. Back to our program. Paste the code here. Now here enter your API key. In the next line write a try block and move this line inside here. Now write an accept block and type doc. Please check your connection. Now let's remove this print statement as we don't need it. In the next line type news equals json.load and inside the parenthesis response.text. Now let's write a for loop to iterate over title and description. So for new in news, now add square brackets and inside the square brackets type articles. In the next line let's print the news title on the terminal. So print, add parenthesis and inside the parenthesis stir. Again add parenthesis and type new. Now add square brackets and inside the square brackets add quotations and type title. Now add a comma. Now again add quotations and type \n. In the next line type doc, add parenthesis. Now add stir, add parenthesis, new. Inside the square brackets add quotations and type title. In the next line type engine.run and wait. Here A and W are in uppercase. In the next line print stir of new, add square brackets, add quotations and type description, comma, add quotations and type \n. In the next line, doc, stir of new. Now add square brackets and add quotations and type description. In the next line, type engine.run and wait. Now here we have the country set to the US. You can change the country by changing the IDs. To get the IDs, head over to https://newsapi.org/sources. Here you can see the IDs of different countries. And back to our program, let's test this program. So assistant, what is the latest news?
Microsoft is releasing a non-subscription Office suite in 2021, Engadget. The company has been pushing Microsoft 365 for years now as the main way to get its Office apps. Microsoft's Xbox Series X 1 TB expandable storage priced at $219.99, The Verge. Expandable storage for the Xbox Series X/S will start at $219.99. A 1 TB option is being provided by Seagate, allowing Xbox Series X and S owners to get more storage for next-gen games.
And there you go, we have it. If you ever noticed, when you switch on Alexa, it greets the user first and then takes the commands. So now we are going to write a program using the Google Calendar API to greet the user and also remind them about today's events that are on their calendar. So first head over to https://developers.google.com/calendar. On this page, click on Calendar API. Here, click on Python. Now click on Enable the Google Calendar API. Now download the credential.json file from the prompt. Place the credential.json file in your working directory. Now we need the Calendar API. The Calendar API lets you integrate your app with Google Calendar. To install this module on this page, copy this and paste it in your terminal. Now copy this code from here to here and let's paste it in our program. Make sure the __future___ module is at the start of the file. Now return service at the end. Now let's rename this function to Google_calendar. Now you don't need to worry about this code here. Let's define a function called calendar_events. So def calendar_events and inside the parenthesis pass two parameters num, service. In the next line type doc, now add quotations and type hey there, good day, hope you are doing fine. These are the events to do today. Now back to this page, copy this code. Now let's change this getting the upcoming 10 events to F, add quotation, getting the upcoming. Now add flower brackets, num, events. And here let's change max results equals 10 to max results equals num. Now if we call this program, we will get the event like test event at 1 p.m. We will not get the minutes. So we need the date in a clear understandable format. So we want to get when the event starts. Start_time equals string of start.split and inside the parenthesis add quotations and type t Now add square brackets and type 1. Dot split. And inside the parentheses add quotations. Now inside the quotations add an hyphen. Now add square brackets and type 0. Now let's check if the event is in the morning, meaning before 12. So if int and inside the parentheses start underscore time dot split. Now inside the parentheses add quotations and colon. Now add square bracket and 0 is less than 12. Start underscore time equals start underscore time plus add quotations and type am. Now if the event is not before 12, the event will be after 12. So let's convert 24 hours time into 12, meaning if it's 13, it will say 1. So else start underscore time equals string of int parenthesis start underscore time dot split add quotations and add a colon. Now add square brackets and type 0 minus 12 start underscore time equals start underscore time plus inside the quotations pm. So now talk f add quotations. Now add flower brackets event underscore today at again add flower bracket start underscore time. Now let's write a try block. Try. Here let's call these functions. Service equals Google underscore calendar. Now let's call the calendar events function and pass 2 arguments. 10. This will fetch 10 events at maximum. So calendar underscore events 10, service. Now let's write an except block. So except talk. Could not connect to the local Wi-Fi network. Please try again later. In the next line, exit. Here, exit will stop executing the program if you are not connected to the Wi-Fi network. And we will use a very popular API called the Twilio API in our program. This API is used to send and receive messages. So head over to https://www.twilio.com. On this page, click on sign up. Now fill all the required information and click on start free trial. Once you have signed up, you will get a verification mail. So make sure you verify your account. So once you open the verification link, it will ask you to verify your phone number. Now you will receive a verification code. So enter the verification code here. So once you submit it, it will ask you, do you write code? So click yes. Now it will ask you your preferred language. So click on Python. Now if you want to enter your goal, you can do that. Else just click skip to dashboard. Once you do that, you will see this page. Now we can see your trial balance here. And we will have an option here saying get a trial number. Click on that and then click on choose this number. So this is your trial number. Now click done. So on this page you can see your account SID and auth token. So now back to our program. Here on the top type from twilio.rest import client. Let's write an elif statement. So elif send message in text or send a message in text. Now let's create 2 variables. One to store the account SID and other to store auth token. So account underscore SID equals enter your Twilio SID here. In the next line, auth underscore token equals enter your auth token here. In the next line, doc what should I send? In the next line, message equals client.messages.create. Now add parenthesis. Now type body equals rec audio followed by parenthesis. Add a comma from underscore. Enter your Twilio number here. Again add a comma 2 equals. Enter your verified Twilio number here. Now note that you can only send messages to verified numbers while using a trial account. If you want to add more verified numbers, on the console click all products and services. Now click on phone numbers. Here click on verified caller IDs. Now click on plus icon here and click on text you instead. Now enter the number you want to verify. Back to our program, print message.sid. Speak equals speak plus message sent successfully. Now when we run this program, we see this page is opened here. Now back here we see this message saying please visit this URL to authorize this application. This is because of the Google Calendar program we wrote here. So now click on this link. Click on advanced and then click on go to quick start. Now click on allow. Back to our program, let's comment this code for now. because every time we test our program, Google Calendars will notify us about a schedule. Now let's test this program. So assistant, send a message.
What should I send?
Hey there, testing API.
Message sent successfully.
So you can see we have received the message. Now we will use the Wolfram Alpha API to compute expert level answers using Wolfram's breakthrough algorithms, knowledge base and AI technology. In simple words, this means that the Wolfram Alpha API provides us with several expert level answers for probably any question that we ask. So head over to https://products.wolframalpha.com/API. On this page, click on Get API Access. Now click on Create One. Here, create your ID. Now click on Get an App ID. Now name your application anything you want. I am going to name it Voice Assistant. Now type the description. I am simply going to type Voice Assistant again. Now click on Get App ID. Now copy this app ID. Back to our program, we need to import one module and it is called the Wolfram Alpha. So to install this module, type pip install Wolfram Alpha. Now let's import this module. So import Wolfram Alpha. So now we need to write two functions. One to calculate mathematical equations and the other to find about a thing or a person. So elif calculate in text app underscore ID equals. Now enter your Wolfram Alpha ID here. In the next line, client equals Wolfram Alpha. Client, here C is an uppercase. So now add parenthesis and type app underscore ID. So now let's check for the keyword calculate. IND equals text.lower.split.index of calculate. In the next line, text equals text.split, add square brackets, IND plus 1 colon. In the next line, res equals client.query, now add parenthesis, add quotations, dot join, add parenthesis and type text. In the next line, let's define a variable called answer. So answer equals next, inside the parenthesis, results.text. In the next line type speak equals speak plus the answer is plus answer. So now let's write another elif statement for finding about someone or something. So elif what is in text or who is in text. Now copy this code from here and paste it here. Now replace calculate with is. Now go to wolframalpha.com. You can see there are so many topics we can ask questions on. Back to our program, let's ask a few questions. Assistant, calculate the square root of 1801.
The answer is 42.43819034266971445642179184133974108281135741.
There you go. Now let's ask our assistant who is the 16th President of the United States.
The answer is Abraham Lincoln from the 4th of March 1861 to the 15th of April 1865.
Awesome. So go ahead and ask more questions. Now if you want to ask questions that have keywords other than what is or who is, you can add another elif statement. Be free to change this code and add your new features. Now we will write a program to temporarily stop the program from listening to us or permanently exit from the program. So write another elif statement. So elif don't listen in text or stop listening in text or do not listen in text. In the next line, talk inside the parenthesis. For how many seconds do you want me to sleep? In the next line, let's define a variable called a. A equals int of record audio. Now on the top, import time. In the next line, time.sleep of a. Here we use sleep to stop our program from listening to us. In the next line, speak equals speak plus stir of a plus add quotation seconds completed. Now you can ask me anything. Now let's write another elif statement to permanently exit from our program. So elif exit in text or quit in text, exit followed by parenthesis. So let's test our program. Assistant, stop listening.
For how many seconds do you want me to sleep?
5.
5 seconds completed. Now you can ask me anything.
Okay, so it stopped listening to us for 5 seconds. Now it is the most exciting part of this voice assistant. Our voice assistant can order a pizza. Yes, a Domino's pizza. All you need to tell your assistant is to order a pizza. It will ask you a few questions, and that's it. This is the same skill that Amazon's Alexa has. Here, we will be using a very popular web scraping and automation library called Selenium. The first thing you need to do is install Selenium. To do this, open up your terminal window and type pip install Selenium. Now we need to install a WebDriver. So a WebDriver is a collection of open source APIs which are used to automate the testing of a web application. The first thing I want you to do is to click on this menu here. Now click on Help and now click on About Google Chrome. Now we can see the version of your browser. Mine is 85 point. So now head over to https://chromedriver.chromium.org/downloads. And on this page download the WebDriver that supports your web browser. So I am going to download Chrome driver 85.0. Now if you are using Edge, you can download the WebDriver from https://developer.microsoft.com/en-us/microsoft-edge/tools/WebDriver. Now look at your downloads folder. Here you should have this WebDriver. Double click on it. Now let's place this on our desktop. So back to our program, we need to import two modules. So from Selenium, import WebDriver, and from time, import sleep. So before going any further, we should know how are we going to order the pizza. What are the steps? So the first step is to open up your browser. This may sound silly, but it is a very important step when you're automating this process. Okay, so our first step is to open up our browser. The second step is to open up the Domino's website. Then we have to click on Order Online Now. It will direct us to a page where we need to enter our location. So here we need to click on this text field. This brings up this text field here. Now we need to enter our location. This gives us suggestions and then we have to choose the correct location. Once we have done this, it will bring us to the menu page. Now we have to log in. So we click here, then type our phone number, then click on submit button. Then Domino's sends us an OTP which we have to type here and click on submit again. This again brings us to the menu. Here we have to add whatever we want to cart. For example, if we add this pepper barbecue chicken pizza, it will ask us if you want to add extra cheese. So the next step is to either add the cheese or not to add. Once we do this, we see it is added to cart. Now let's say we want a Pepsi. So we have to click here and then add Pepsi to cart. Now let's say we want to increase the number of pizza. Let's say we want to add 2 more pepper barbecues. So we have to manually go here and add 2 more. And if you want to add more Pepsi, we have to repeat the same process. The next step is to click on checkout. Once we do that, we are on this page where we have our items. Here we need to click on place order. When we click on place order, it asks us to select our address. As we have already logged in, we already have our address here. So now we have to click on save and continue. Now we are on this page where we have to confirm our order. So this is the process to order a Domino's pizza. But now our assistant will do this for us. From opening the browser till confirming the order, everything is done automatically. We don't need to move or muscle. All we need to do is to command our assistant. Our words will be then converted into a pizza. So let's get started. So let's create a new file here just to show you how everything works. Later we will move this code to our main file. So let's create a new file and call it Dominoes. So as this is a little big program, let's write a function. Let's call this function pizza. So def pizza. In the next line type driver equals webdriver.chrome and inside the parentheses are quotations. Now here enter the location of your WebDriver. To get the location of your WebDriver, right click on it, go to properties and here copy the target location. Paste the target location here. Now let's call this function. Now when we run this program, our WebDriver will open a window which will be not maximized. So we need to maximize the window. So driver.maximize underscore window followed by parenthesis. Now we want to open the Domino's website. So let's tell the user opening Domino's. So talk opening Domino's. This will not work here as we don't have this function. So let's just comment this out for now. Now we should open the site. So type driver.get and inside the parentheses add quotations. And inside the quotations type https://www.dominos.co.in. Now if we run our program, you can see that the site is opened successfully. But as soon as it is opened, it is closed. So we need to tell it to wait. So sleep and inside the parentheses 2. So now let's run our program. So you can see that it waited for 2 seconds after it opened the site. The next step is to click on the Order Online Now button. So let's tell the user getting ready to order. So talk getting ready to order. Now we have to click on that button. So head over to Domino's website. Here you can see the text on the button. Order online now. All in uppercase. Back to our program, now we have to click on the button. So we write code like this. Driver dot find element by link text. Now add parentheses and inside the parentheses are quotations and type order online now all in uppercase. Now type dot click. Now let's wait for 2 seconds. So sleep 2. Now let's run our program. Beautiful. So you saw how this works. It automatically clicked on that button. So the next step is to enter our location. So talk finding your location. Now back here. So the next step is to click here. So that we get this text field. So right click on this text field and click on inspect. Here you can see the HTML code. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and we use it to make websites. So here this input tag is highlighted. Now here we have class equals. So double click on that and copy it. Now back to our program type driver.findElement by class name. Inside the parentheses add quotation and paste the class name here. Dot click and then sleep and type 2. Now let's run our program. Awesome. You see how this works. Now we need to enter the location. So we define a variable called location. Location equals. Add quotations. Here enter your location like this. Your apartment, then your locality and then your city. Now we can also enter your state or province or your country, but it is not very necessary. Now we have to tell the user that we are entering the location. So talk entering the location. Now we need to enter this value in the location variable into this text field. To do that, we will first get its XPath. So here, right click, inspect, Now right click on this and copy the XPath. Back to our program, type driver.findElement by XPath. And inside the parentheses add quotations and paste the XPath. Now type dot send underscore keys and inside the parentheses location. So we use the send underscore keys method to enter something into a text field. And then sleep 2. So let's run our program. So you see that we are given a few suggestions for the location. Now we need to choose the correct location. Now go back here and right click on your correct location and get its XPath. Back to our program, type driver.findElement by XPath and inside the parentheses add quotation and paste your XPath here. Dot click followed by parentheses and then sleep 2. Once again run this program. Wow. So now we are on the menu page. So now we need to log in. So back here, get the XPath of this login button. Next type driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste the XPath here. Dot click followed by parentheses. In the next line, sleep 2. Now let's write an except block. So except talk. Your location could not be found. Please try again later. In the next line, exit followed by parentheses. Let's tell the user logging in. So talk logging in. Let's run the program. Now here we have to enter the phone number. So let's define a variable called phone number and then inside the quotations type your phone number. Now we need to get the XPath of this here. So go get the XPath and back in our program type driver.findElement by XPath. Paste your XPath here. Dot send underscore keys and inside the parentheses phone number. Then sleep 2. Now let's run our program. So you can see that our phone number is entered here. Now we need to click on this button. So get its XPath and back in our program, driver.findElement by XPath and paste your XPath here. Dot click followed by parentheses. In the next line, sleep 2. Now run the program again. Okay, now when we click on submit, it asks for the OTP. Copy the XPath of this here. Now we need to ask the user their OTP. So talk, what is your OTP? Sleep 3. Now we should record the OTP. So OTP underscore log equals record audio. Now we should send the OTP to the text field. So driver.findElement by XPath. Enter your XPath here. Dot send underscore keys and inside the parentheses OTP underscore log. Sleep 2. Now let's submit the OTP. So driver.findElement by XPath. Now here enter the XPath. Dot click. In the next line sleep 2. Now once we have successfully logged in, we have to order something. Now if you know how to order Domino's using Alexa, you must know that Alexa uses the Domino's app to order pizza. It orders from your favorites. which is your previous order, which you will find in your order history. Now the Domino's app has an option called reorder, and that is what Alexa does. It reorders your previous order. Now if you see here on the Domino's website, we have an option to set your favorites, and they also have this saying, set any order as favorites and easily reorder previous orders. But I didn't find any reorder button, so I decided to make my favorites in my program so that I can order them whenever I want. So back to our program, let's ask the user if they want to order from their favorites. And if they say yes, we will continue, else we will stop executing the program. So talk, do you want me to order from your favorites? Now let's record the response. So query underscore fav is equal to rec underscore audio. Let's check if they said yes. If yes, in query underscore fav. Now on the top type from voice assistant import talk comma rec audio. So now we can remove all these comments and we won't get any errors. Now go back here. Now my favorite pizza is pepper barbecue chicken. So you can see this add to cart button. Now copy the XPath of this. Back to our program, type driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste your XPath here. Then dot click followed by parenthesis. In the next line type sleep 1. Now let's write our accept block. So accept talk the entered OTP is incorrect. Exit. Talk adding your favorites to cart. Now go back here and click on add to cart. You can see this little model here saying add extra cheese. Now we have two options, either to add or no. So let's ask the user, talk, do you want me to add extra cheese to your pizza? In the next line, ex underscore cheese equals rec audio. Now if the user says yes, we want to add extra cheese. So go here and copy the XPath of the add button. Back to our program, if yes, in x underscore cheese, talk extra cheese added. Driver.findElement by XPath. Paste your XPath here, dot click. Now if the user says no, we want to click on this button. So copy this XPath. Back to our program type. Elif no in extra cheese, driver.findElement by XPath. Paste your XPath here, dot click. Now if the user says something else other than yes or no, let's say I don't know that and continue. So else, talk, I don't know that. Driver.findElement by XPath and paste the same XPath here. Dot click followed by parenthesis. Now I want to add a drink, let's say Pepsi. So I am going to copy the XPath and then in our program I am going to paste it here. Driver.findElement by XPath and paste this XPath here. Dot click followed by parenthesis. And then sleep 1. Now if you want to add more items, you can do so. You just need to add more code and make a few changes in the code. Now let's ask the user if they want to increase the quantity. If the user says yes, let's ask them, would you like to increase the quantity of pizza or Pepsi? Now if they say pizza, we are going to ask them how many more pizzas do you want to add. And we will do the same for Pepsi. Now if you have more items, you can add a little bit more code. So now let's ask the user if they would like to increase the quantity. So talk, would you like to increase the quantity? QTY equals rec audio. Now let's define two variables to store the quantity of pizza and Pepsi. So QTY underscore pizza equals 0 and QTY underscore Pepsi equals 0. Now if the user said yes, then if yes in QTY, talk, would you like to increase the quantity of pizza? In the next line, WH underscore QTY equals record audio. If yes in WH underscore QTY, talk, how many more pizzas do you want to add? Now let's write a try block. Try QTY underscore pizza equals record audio. Now let's convert this into an integer. So QTY underscore pizza equals int of QTY underscore pizza. Now let's write an if statement. So if QTY underscore pizza is greater than 0, talk underscore pizza. F add quotations and inside the quotations type adding and flower brackets, and inside the flower brackets qty underscore pizza, more pizzas, talk underscore pizza. Now we need to add the number of pizzas the user asks to add. So we write a for loop for I in range of qty underscore pizza. Now here on this page, get the XPath of this plus sign. Back to our program, driver.findElement by XPath dot click. Now let's write an except block. So except talk, I don't know that. Else pass. Now let's ask the user if they would like to increase the quantity of Pepsi. So talk, would you like to increase the quantity of Pepsi? In the next line, pep underscore qty equals rec audio. If yes, in pep underscore qty, talk, how many more Pepsis would you like to add? Try qty underscore Pepsi equals rec audio. Now qty underscore Pepsi equals int of qty underscore Pepsi. Now let's write an if statement. If qty underscore Pepsi is greater than 0, doc underscore pep equals f at quotations, and inside the quotations type adding at flower brackets qty underscore Pepsi, more Pepsis. In the next line, doc underscore pep. Now we need to add the number of Pepsis the user asked to add. So we write a for loop for I in range of qty underscore Pepsi driver.findElement by XPath. So back to our program, let's paste the XPath here. Dot click followed by parenthesis. Now let's write an except block. Except talk, I don't know that. Else pass. Elif no in qty pass. Now let's calculate the total number of pizzas and Pepsis and tell it to the user and ask them if they wanted to check out. So total underscore pizza equals qty underscore pizza plus 1. We are doing this because we initially have one pizza in our cart. In the next line, total underscore Pepsi equals qty underscore Pepsi plus 1. Now tell underscore num equals f, and inside the quotation, this is your list of order. Now add flower brackets, and inside the flower brackets type total underscore pizza, pizzas, and now again add flower brackets and type total underscore Pepsi, Pepsis. Do you want to check out? In the next line, talk tell underscore number. In the next line type check underscore order equals rec audio. If they said yes, we have to click on this checkout. So go here and copy the XPath. Now back to our program, let's write an if statement. So if yes in check underscore order, doc checking out. Driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste the XPath here. Dot click. Sleep 1. Okay, so once we check out, we have to tell the user the total price. Now we have the total price here. We want this text to be set to the user. So to do that, we write code like this. First from here, let's copy the XPath. And then in our program, total equals driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste the XPath here. In the next line, total underscore price equals f at quotations. Total price is. Now add flower brackets and type total.text. In the next line, talk total underscore price and then sleep 1. Now here we use total.text. So we use the .text method to get text from a website. So let's write an else statement. So else exit. Now let's place the order. For that we need to click on this button. So copy the XPath. Back to our program, talk placing your order. Driver.findElement by XPath. Paste your XPath here, click. Sleep 2. Now let's save the location and continue. Now back here we need to copy the XPath of this button. Now in our program, let's type try talk saving your location. Driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste this XPath here. Click followed by parenthesis. In the next line, sleep 2. Now let's say the store is offline. So we have to tell the user the store is offline. So except talk. The store is currently offline. Now let's ask the user if they want to confirm their order. Here we are using the cash on delivery option, which is the default. Now if you want to choose something else, you can do that by adding more code here. So talk, do you want to confirm your order? In the next line, confirm equals rect underscore audio. If yes, in confirm. In the next line type talk placing your order. Now we want to click on this button. So let's get the XPath. Back in our program, driver.findElement by XPath. Now paste the XPath here. Dot click. In the next line, sleep 2. Now type talk, your order is placed successfully. Wait for Domino's to deliver your order. Enjoy your day. Now if the user says no, we have to quit. So else exit. Now let's write an else for our main if. Else exit. And we are almost done. Now copy this code and paste it here in our main program. Now down here write another elif statement. So elif order a pizza in text or pizza in text, pizza followed by parenthesis. And done. We have completed our program. So let's run our program and see if it works. So let's run it.
Hey there. Good day. Hope you are doing fine. These are the events to do today. No upcoming events found.
So it tells that there are no upcoming events. So now let's open our Google Calendar and add an event. And let's call this event order a pizza and run our program again.
Hey there. Good day. Hope you are doing fine. These are the events to do today. Order a pizza at 10 p.m.
There you go. So our program is working fine. It's time to order our pizza. Let's go. So let's ask our assistant to order a pizza.
Hey there. Good day. Hope you are doing fine. These are the events to do today. Order a pizza at 10 p.m.
Assistant, order a pizza.
Opening Domino's. Getting ready to order. Finding your location. Entering your location. Logging in. What is your OTP?
642428.
Do you want me to order from your favorites?
Yes.
Adding your favorites to cart. Do you want me to add extra cheese to your pizza?
No.
Would you like to increase the quantity?
No.
This is your list of order. 1 pizzas and 1 Pepsis. Do you want to check out?
Yes.
Checking out. Total price is 443.75. Placing your order. Saving your location. Do you want to confirm your order?
Yes.
Placing your order. Your order is placed successfully. Wait for Domino's to deliver your order. Enjoy your day.
So that brings us to the end of the Voice Assistant tutorial. I hope you learnt a lot. Please let me know what more do you want to learn about and what projects do you want to build. And also join the community at patreon.com/DionCardoza for exclusive content, feedback polls, behind the scenes content, Q&A and live streams, and up to 100% discount on my upcoming courses. You can also be a sponsor and have your logo or site advertised on DionCardoza.com. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learnt a lot. Please support my hard work by liking this video and sharing it with others. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you soon.